So we have been looking at calculation views. So we'll continue with that. So now we're just trying to get into details of these views. So we can create calculation views either with graphical mode or scripting based. So in the last class we've seen about creating the calculation views with graphical mode as well as scripting based also. So as part of graphical calculation view, we include layers of logic. Basically, you are being given with all the kind of operators like join, union, projection, aggregation, and rank. And by using these operations, you start building your logic in form of layer by layer. Yeah. And can we use the scripting based calculation view into graphical and graphical based calculation into scripting? So when it comes to using the scripting based calculation view into graphical, we go with by converting it as table user defined function. So when you, let's say once we have the scripting based calculation view, if you want to use that into graphical, use the option as save as or migrate, which actually creates a table UDF function which can be leveraged into graphical. So when you say save as, you will have the scripting based view as it is, and it creates a copy of it and then gives you a graphical calculation with table UDF. And if we say migrate, the same view itself is converted into graphical. Which answer was? What do you want? Rashmi, what do you want? What answer you want? You did not give any answer also. Which answer? Which login? Login to what? Login to what was? Go to meeting. You just have to click that link and then log in. You just give your name and then log in. What is there in it? Yeah. Okay. Following nodes can now, while building a graphical calculation view, we can use join, union, projection, aggregation, rank or star join. All these nodes can be used. In the last class, we've seen about using join, where you're trying to join two sources. And in the join operation, you can only go with text join or inner join, left or right. Referential join cannot be used. And then you've seen projection, you've seen aggregation. Now let's see about union and rank. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Yeah.
So yes, sir. So that login I trying very hard, very before. Your Ramesh, that person, and Vinod, all are trying hard through your Inshoot also and your team here also. They're trying, but they're also failed. That's why, sir, I'm given message ki how can I do?
Which login was?
That's a go to meeting. I'm waiting for very long, sir.
Now how are you connected now?
So as you given that link, I directly click and it is connected.
That's all. Then what?
Always.
Yeah. What is your problem then?
Uh, you as you say ki name purpose, I also want name purpose, but how it is I don't know.
We'll talk after the class. Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Now let's look at this union operation and then rank operation first. So in the last class, I've already told join can take two inputs. Union can take n number of inputs, but whereas projection, aggregation, rank just takes a single input. Now let's do this way. I have this analytical view. Let me just create a copy of it. And let me just create a copy. sales EMEA. I'm trying to build this view only for EMEA sales. So what I'll do, I'll just go here and apply the filter on this. And rest all would be same. Let me create one more. I'll take it as Asia Pacific. I'll change this filter. So I want one more view for America. It's all analytical views here. And let me take it as Africa. So now I've got 4 different views. Each of the view gives me data for a particular region. Now I've got a view for Africa, one view giving data, sales data for America, one is for Asia Pacific, one is for Europe. Now I would like to do reporting on the global sales, where I would like to combine the data from all these views, unify it, and then project it for reporting this. So I'll try to do that with calculation view. It's a new union. Cube is okay. Graphical, okay. So I've got data category as cube because I would like to include measures into it. So let me just take the projection and then bring in those views. So I'll say this is as Africa was. Rename Africa's sale. Africa sales. Let me have one more projection. Rename this America sales. One more projection. Asia Pacific. APJ sales. EMEA. So got all this. So I got all the 4 region views which I would like to combine, but from each of this view I don't want to consider everything. I just want to take consider project only country and the gross amount, and then let me take currency field. Then I want quantity and quantity. That's it, nothing much. Then from Asia Pacific, again I want country, gross amount, currency, quantity and quantity unit. Again from AM here, again country, gross amount, currency, quantity, quantity unit. Again from this country, gross amount, currency, quantity and nothing else. So each of this is projecting this the 5 columns. I would like to union all this data. So I'll take an union operation, and then union can take in multiple inputs. Note connection 1, input 2. This can take n number of inputs. Okay? And input 3, input 4. I'll say rename union, combine all regions. Okay. Now when you select this projection, you just see the projection property. Similar way, when you select union, you'll get to see properties of the union node. So in the left hand side, you see all the source objects and what is it you want in the target map. You can click this if you have the automatic mapping can be done. So look at this now. When you click this, now the country column is mapped from all the 4 nodes. Gross amount mapped from all the 4 nodes. Currency mapped from all the 4. Quantity mapped from all the 4. Quantity unit is again mapped from all the 4. You can expand and see. You can expand 2 things to make it clear. Select country. So the country column from this is mapped to this. Country column from this node is mapped to this. So it is like union. So like this, you can do the mapping with the union. So the country column in the union node is equal to country from the node 1, country from node 2, plus country node from node 3, node 4. And then take this into aggregations. I want the gross amount to be added as aggregated column, quantity as aggregated column, then rest all as normal output. Those are the attributes. So you get to see data for all the countries. You see Z is for Africa, Japanese, China. You're seeing US, so America. You're seeing Mexico. You're seeing American countries. You still go bottom. You see GB. You're still seeing Europe also. Like this, you can create the union operation. Use the union operation. There's one concept in this union. They say they call this concept as union by constant or constant by union. The requirement now is, say, now we have an output of this view, right? Say we'll try to see the output. Now from this, like if you remember, okay, from this output, now I would like to differentiate whether this record is coming from node 1 or node 2 or node 3 or node 4. Union operation is combining the nodes from all the source objects, right? But even after it is combined, I should be able to differentiate whether this node is coming, this record is coming from node 1 or node 2 or node 3. If you remember, if you look at multi-provider in BW, you will have a characteristic called zero info provider, which will differentiate the record coming from which info provider it is. So it's the same concept is called as constant by union by constant. So how do I do this? I go to each of this node. If I take region, I can do, but I still want some constant. I'll say calculate column. Constant value something. C value. For this, I would say constant as AFR. Okay. AFR node. Okay. This is one node. Again, I'll go to the next node, create a calculate column, C value, what is this? Asia Pacific. Okay. APJ. No. Okay. I'll go to next one. Create calculate column. C value. I think this is AMER node. AMER node. Okay. Next one. C value. Okay. Now I would like to use this column. So I get the C value. So I'm going to map the C value from all the four. So just take that in the output. Take that as an attribute. Now I do it. Now when I try to see the content, so with this node I should be able to differentiate that, right? If I just take the C value and then country and then say gross amount, I will be able to differentiate. Even if you see Africa node, these are the countries. Asia Pacific node, these are the countries. AMEA, these are the countries. What AMER, Africa, Asia Pacific, EM. Like this, you'll be able to differentiate whether the node is coming from which, the data is coming from which node it is. We call this constant as union by constant. Okay. So this is about union operation. Okay. Next, we'll have to see about rank operation. Let me take this same analytical view. So let's create a calculation view to give the ranking. Still graphical cube because I'm going to involve measures into it. First, I'll take a projection from there. See, my requirement is I would like to see top 3 customers. Yeah. So I'll do my interest. I'm interested in company name, gross amount. That's enough. So based on gross amount, I'm going to differentiate, provide the ranking on these customers. Yeah. So let's take the rank node. Connect this. Rank also takes only single input. Connect this to the rank node. Select both company name and gross amount. Here it will ask you sort, because if you say descending, you're going to get the top. If you say ascending, you're going to get the bottom. I want top, so descending. You want to sort the data based on what? Based on gross amount. Okay. Okay, boss. And then that's it. So the sorting will be done based on the gross amount, and threshold value you can say you want top 3, right? You can say top 3. So I want top 3 based on gross amount. You'll just okay. Here what I'll do, There's something like partition column. Basically, I would like to get the partitioning on company name. Let's say ఇది కన్ఫ్యూజ్ ఇది ఫస్ట్ వితౌట్ చూపిల్లను సర్లే. This is not what I want. Look at this. Say my requirement is this. I want to see top 3 customers for each country wise. So what I'll do, I'll take country also. Take country. And I want to see top 3 customers for each country in it. So I'll say my field name for partitioning is country. So what I'll do, it's like a Windows function. You remember? Partition by, order by. So first it will partition the data based on the country for each country. Within each country, it does do the ranking for top 3 customers. So if you see the data, for AR, Argentina, there are 3 customers. For AT, I see only one because there might be only one customer. For DE, I still see 3. Okay. But if I say I just want to see only top 1 in each country, then for each country you see only one record. See DE, in each country it just gives me the top customer. So this rank function is similar to your Windows function of ranking. Yeah? It is partitioning the data based on this country, and then in each partition it is basically creating the ranking. So then the checkbox called dynamic partitioning. For example, I might have a requirement like this. I have, let's say, region. I have region. Now my requirement is when I'm running my report, if I drill on region, it has to show me top as per the region wise. If I do drill on country, it has to show me top on the country wise. So I will say region. So I will say dynamic partition. So depending on if I select country, it should show me top as per country wise. If I select region, it should show me as per region wise. So what I'll do to just see the effect, hide the country and then try to see at region wise. Now you see top customer for each region. Sorali is actually the top for Europe completely. Now let's say I hide region. Now you'll see top customer for each country. So like this, dynamically in the reporting, based on the attribute you do drill down, it will show the top customers. This is about using rank node operation. And one more point is, now the next question is, now we are saying top 1, top 2 or top 3. I can make that dynamic here also. See, we can use input parameter to make the definition of the view dynamics. I can just create some input parameter. IP underscore top n. Set direct. Okay, I will set this as integer. So I'll go to the ranking. In the threshold, instead of giving 1 or 2, I'll say input parameter. Specify this input parameter. Now when I run the view, if I say top 2, it will show you 2. You get 2 customers for each country. Like this, you can use the ranking operator, ranking nodes. So you've seen about using join, union, projection, aggregation, rank, and star join. Then I've shown you this. The following objects can be used as source. I can use column store tables, column views, attribute views, analytical views. Table user different functions, and also calculation views as it is also. Yeah. So we can use calculation views within the calculation views. Okay. Okay. Next, this point, similar to attribute view or analytical view, When a calculation view is activated, it creates a column view in SysBig schema. Whether it is graphical calculation view or whether it is scripting based calculation view, when it is activated, it will deploy a column view in the SysBig schema bus. Okay. Now within this graphical, we have two subtypes of calculation. One is standard or time. Standard is like normal view. You're using the table, source, objects, and building the view. But time is like auto create based on the existing time-based tables m underscore time underscore dimension from SysBI. It creates time-based data view automatically. We've seen that. This point is very, very important. When it comes to this one, when it comes to rank operation, aggregation, projection, they only take only one input, but join takes two inputs, and union node can take multiple inputs. Okay. Now, can we create hierarchies in calculation views? Yes. Even here, I can create any calculation, whether data category is cube or whatever it is. I can create hierarchies. Whether the data category is cube or dimension or blank, I can still create hierarchies. No issues. We'll come to this aggregation node, keep flag, optimize. I'll come to that. Calculation views of data category dimension or blank, we cannot use it for reporting. Yesterday we discussed. So whenever I have a calculation view with data category as dimension or blank, I cannot use it for reporting. We can only use them into another calculation views. Now this point, in graphical calculation view, filtering can be applied only on aggregation node and projection node, but which are not default. Remember yesterday we discussed. I can use projection or aggregation to apply filtering, but this filtering cannot be applied in the projection node or aggregation node, which is the default output node. I cannot do that. Yeah. Next, we have something called propagate to semantics.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Uh,
Can you make rank as a value input parameter, sir?
Means?
In calculation view, can you make rank as a value help parameter? Maybe customer want to see 7th customer or 3rd customer like that. Top 3 customer not.
Because when you say rank, ranking purpose is not to see 7th or 8th or 9th. It is like top 3, top 4, top 5. Then if you want to see 7th, what will see? You'll say top 7. Then he has trying to make 7th row as that. That's so I have this filtering inside projection is same as dragging. Filtering inside projection is same as dragging the already filtered analytical view. Both are same. Yeah, both are same. See, he's saying now should I have analytical view, I applied filter and I using it here, or I take the analytical view then apply filtering it in calculation. See, when it comes to filtering, if you think logically, apply filtering as bottom as possible. At the time of reading data from the table itself, try to apply filter so that you are reducing the amount of records on which the join has to be performed. That is one of the performance consideration. Whenever you're trying to build a view, filtering has to be applied as bottom as possible at the time of reading data from the table itself, so that you're reducing the amount of records on which the view should get executed. Okay. Okay.
Sir,
I have this view. Yeah.
sir, in aggregation node, can you create a CKF calculated key figure like that?
I'll come to that, boss.
Okay.
Once I say I'm done, you can ask me questions. Give me time. Yeah? I have this view. This is an analytical view. I have this currency, but I don't have any semantics defined. I would like to define semantics for amount of currencies or quantities. So what I'll do, let me define a semantics here. I'll say currency. You know about semantics in analytical view. I'll say currency code. Then I'll say quantity unit as unit of measure. Then I'll define this gross amount as amount with currency, sorry, amount with currency code, and the amount, currency column is my currency column. Same way for net amount, semantics. Currency. Say quantity as quantity with unit. So I've defined the semantics in this view. I'll take the projection. I've taken this view. Then let's take all of them and connect them to the aggregation node. So I get this out. Now let me activate. When I see this view, again I lose the semantics here. I had an analytical view where the semantics was defined, but I'm not getting those semantics again into this calculation view. So I have two options. One is either I go to each of this column again, say where is this currency column, say click on this, what is assign semantics, again define the semantics in calculation view also. That is one option. Instead of recreating this semantics, what I can do, there's some option called extract semantics. So already in this view we have defined the semantics. I would like to extract those semantics into my book. So make sure, see, don't select the node, select the view source object, right click, and you have option called extract semantics. First see that there are no semantics in this gross amount. See, nothing is been defined. Yeah. Now I'll select this data source object, right click, say extract semantics. I would like to extract semantics for gross amount, net amount, tax amount, currency, quantity. Now if you see, automatically you will see that semantics is already maintained. Now like this, if the semantics is already maintained for any of the view which is used as a source in the calculation view, I can extract those semantics into my calculation view instead of recreating them. That is extracting semantics. Okay. Next we have got something called propagating to semantics. I showed this, but still, so let me take a projection. Just for learning, okay. So from this I've just taken country and grass somewhat, connect them, select both of them, select this to this node, and from this select both of them, select this to aggregation node. I want this aggregate column, and I have this view ready. It will start giving me country and the gross amount. But later you decide along with country you also wanted region. Then what I should do, I should go to the bottom node, select region here, then go to this node, select region in all the places, right? Instead of selecting region in every place one by one, what I can do, I want it added to all the top level nodes. Right click on the region and say propagate to semantics. Okay. So it gets
Wow.
selected, it gets selected, gets selected here also. Then when you try to see, you see region, country and the gross amount. That is like propagating semantics. Okay. So let me finish up the view properties. You want to deselect a column. You say you don't want a column. You want to delete this out, remove. Yes. This has to be done manually if you're removing. Because if you're removing at the top level, doesn't mean that you should remove at the bottom, right? When it comes to adding, if you add it to the bottom, you might want it to the top. But when you're deleting something at the top, doesn't mean that you want to remove it at the bottom. So you have to manually remove them. Yeah? So now let's see the properties of this view. And the first this is the technical name of the calculation view. This is the name of the package under which the view is created. This is the description of the calculation view. Then we have a property called data category. You'll have three options. I told you blank, cube, and dimension already. Then this is a type of view. Standard is okay. Default client. This will again have two things: session client and cross client. Again, as we discussed already, this will have importance when you are using a table with mandate as a key field. If you want to allow the customer to see all the client information, then you will say cross client. If you want to allow the customer to see, user to see only the client for which is logged in as a session, then you will say session client. And default schema is a schema which has to be used for currency conversion or unit conversions. And this is where you specify whether you want to apply analytical privileges on the view or you want to apply SQL privileges on the column view, same property. And again, enabling history. We have seen analytical view where you enable it history and you specify an input parameter. Same I can do it here also. If you have history enabled sessions, I can say create input parameter IP underscore time, and then say I'll say timestamp. Say OK, and same thing can be applied here. When you say enable, I can say time post. So if you have a history enabled session tables based on the timestamp what you pass into this parameter, you get to see this value. Default member I don't know. Then same thing, you have execute operations in this. This is very important. The property called execute in. Generally what happens, the calculation view is executed with which engine? Calculation engine, right? But we have option. Sometimes if you want the view to be executed with SQL engine, I can choose this option, execute in SQL engine. Very important. When do we use this? Generally, let's say I have a view like this. If I see the view like this, I have a lot of join operations. Join node 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? If it is calculation engine, how does it execute this is, first it will go to join node 1, performs a join, takes the result, then joins second, third. So it goes about performing join one by one as a separate operation and then give you results. Okay. That is calculation engine. If you look at the instantiation process, when I say instantiation process, how your calculation engine executes your view, for each join, each node in the calculation, it formulates a sub select statement for this, one 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 select statement for this, and executes them individually one by one. You can see them if you want. If you can drop down this, debug this view, say execute, it will show you the See, this is the design mode of the view, and this is the runtime mode of the view. You can see in this join node, it formulates this select statement. For this join node, this is the select statement. We'll get in details later, but for each join node, you see select statement separately. For this join node, it is select, separate, select. For this aggregation node, it's again now the aggregations come in, execute, and then you get the output. Like this, it formulates a separate select statement for each of this node and executes them. That is actually the process how your calculation engine executes your view. But let's say when you let's say I have this problem, especially when you have a lot of join operations. So when I say I have 4 join operations, obviously I would be joining 5 objects because each join operation can only join 2 nodes. Let's say I have a requirement like this. Let's say I have a scenario like this. I've got 5 source objects. I am performing a join on all the 5. Out of the 5 source, there's one source with only one record, and the other 4 records with millions of records. So let's say fifth table has got only single record at this node. Okay. Let's say this you're joining. So let's say this is resulting only one record for. So what happens? First join 1 results in millions of data, then join 2 results in millions of data, then join 3 results in millions of data. When the millions of data is joined with the view of single record, obviously it will return only one record and goes with an output. So now what is happening? Till here we are dealing with temporary storage of millions of data, but after this it is becoming only one record. And if I would have joined the table 1, fifth table first, the one with one record, say in the join 1, if I would have joined fifth table first, so obviously it will result in one record, one record, one record here, one record here. So based on the statistics or based on the number of records in a table, if I can control the join precedence, means which join should be taken care first, sometimes it can improve my performance of the view basically when you have a lot of join operations. So in these cases, when you if you use calculation engine by default, it formulates query for each of the operation and executes each operation node separately one by one. Then it cannot go with join precedence. But if I say execute in SQL engine, what it does is it takes the SQL statement of all these joins and formulates one big SQL query, understands the statistics of the database and join precedence, and based on the preference, it first leverages the table with less number of records into the join and improves your join operations. If I'm using calculation engine, it executes each of the node in the sequential format from bottom to top with respect of the table source. But if I execute that in SQL engine, it takes all the SQL statements, formulates one big SQL query, understands the join precedence and executes that, and which can improve performance of your view. That will happen especially when you're using a lot of join operations. This makes a very, very important point. And the cache invalidation period is all same again, whether after 1 hour or after daily, you want the cache to be invalidated. Yeah. So, and you understand about generate concatenate attributes. Whenever the join is done on 2 columns, you want to improve the performance of the join. Instead of joining on 2 columns, you want to refer the concatenate attribute here. So you understand execute in SQL. Now we have extract semantics, you understand. Then propagate to semantics, you understand. Now let's get with restrict columns now. In analytical view, we can also build the restricted columns.
Sir.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, let me finish.
Sir,
Then you can ask.
I have one question regarding propagate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Propagate semantics is you just want to add a new column. Instead of adding in every node, you just say right click and say propagate semantic. It adds to the node till the top level. That's it. Now, now similar to analytical view, we can also have calculate column here. So you can have it as a measure or attribute. You can have it as an attribute or measure, same thing what we have in analytical view, but except this. You remember in analytical view we had a checkbox calculate before aggregation. So when you go to calculation view, you don't have the checkbox calculate before or after. Then we'll see how do we control that later. But see, this is like normal calculated key figure. We can go with the measure, or we can go with calculate attribute. We can use input parameters. All those can be used into it. And next option I want to focus is rested column. We know about what is rested column, but the major important point here is similar to analytical view, we have rested column here, but here the rested column can be made dynamic. Let's say I want it like this. It is just showing me revenues, gross amount, right? I want another column which says gross amount for a particular region. Okay, then I'll build rested column. I'll say new rested column. Gross amount for EMEA. Gross amount. Drop down. Where I'll say it's a gross amount restricted with what region. Which region it is? EMEA. Why only EMEA? Is it already filtered for EMEA or something?
So initially we filtered EMEAs.
Look, EMEA. So now this column does not make sense. So I got company, region and all this, and now I have a requirement. I don't want the region to be product. Okay, I want that. Sorry. I want it as separate columns. So now I want as gross amount for each of the regions as a separate column. I'll say a new nested column. CMEA gross amount restricted with what region? Which value now? CMEA. So one more rested column. AMEA America. It's a gross amount restricted with region. AMEA. Same way gross amount. Asia Pacific. That's okay. 3 are enough. Activate. So now you get for a company, get to see how much was in Europe, how much was in America, and how much was in Asia Pacific. And you also get to see total gross amounts. So see the table. But you see, I only seen for any other because the customer was belonging to majority of the customers. They were doing transactions either Europe or America or Asia Pacific only. That's why you see value for America, but others are null because he never went into. So like this, you can build your restricted columns. We could do that in analytical view also. The major benefit again here is I want to make the dynamic. Say for example, I don't want all this for. I want to delete this. I want to create an input parameter, IP underscore region. So varchar 4 activate. I'll get in. I'll edit this. Now I want to make this restriction dynamic. In calculation, we can make the restricted column dynamic by using input parameter. Here instead of using fixed value, I'll say input parameter and IP region. Like this, you can make your restricted column dynamic in calculation. I did not use column, right? I need to enter manually. If I say EMEA, so it will show gross amount only for EMEA. So it is only showing for these countries because only these are performed in Europe, so I get to see EMEA. Remember this, 77 was not for, this is for EMEA, right? Let me refresh again. So EMEA, America. Then you get to see data for this locals. Now the region is showing the sum of in America. Like this, you can make your restricted column also dynamic by using input parameters. Unlike your analytical, we never had this option in analytical view, but in calculation view, I can make the calculation view dynamic, restricted column dynamic by using input parameter. Not only with equal to operation, I can also use a range. You will say bit, instead of saying equal to, I will say what? If I say between, I'll have to use two input parameters. Now, I'll go here, I'll say input parameter. So one parameter takes it as add as from. If you should have another input parameter for from and say add as to, there will be one more input. So I can use one input parameter from acting as from value, another input parameter value acting as to values. Okay. So restricted columns and same, the mapping of input parameters and variables will still go the same way. But the only thing is you have a new option in the input parameters here is like so I would like to apply filter on country, drop down, say create input parameter, IP underscore COUNTRY. You see this? We have seen this direct column derived static, but there's an option called derived from procedures. So unlike your analytical view, in calculation view, I have a possibility of creating input parameter with which can be filled from a procedure also. I'll show, but now I'm just going with direct now for now. Varchar 2, and let me use that in the filter. Country filter active. So let's show my country. If I say DE, I get to see data only for DE country. Okay, but what I want is the same way we know about these options, but I want to fill this input parameter with the stored procedure bus. Okay. So I have written the procedure. There's just a simple procedure what I'm doing. So there's some table I'm just dropping. I'm just creating some table, okay, with country and region. Uh, and I'm inserting some 3 rows. It's a very simple one. This is a table which will have region and if it is EMEA, then D, AMER, then US. Okay. So I'm writing a procedure. This is a procedure name, and it is going to give me a single value out parameter as normal variable with the data type as string, language SQL script, and SQL security invoker reads SQL data. Okay. So I've declared two variables, v underscore country and v underscore region. V underscore region, I've just fixed it as AMER. I'm just reading data from the table saying select country from this table where my region is equal to AMER. This is my variable, right? AMER. So actually for AMER the country is US, so US will be returned out. It puts that US into this variable v underscore country, and from this variable I'm assigning it back to a variable called result underscore country, which is an output parameter. So just create this procedure. It's just reading that country from some table and returning from the procedure. So if it is outside, it does not. So if you're just calling this, see the AMER fix, this procedure will always return me as US. Then what I'm doing is, for this to be worked in, I need to grant the execution. My sysrepo user should have the authorizations to execute this. I'm saying grant execute on this procedure to sysrepo. Remember my procedure name, procedure input parameter. Okay. Now let me go in. Now I'll say change this input parameter. If it is manual input, you're giving whatever you want, but I'm saying derived from procedure. It asks me the procedure name. What was the procedure name? Procedure input parameter. I said derived. I want this very input parameter to be filled from a procedure, and procedure. So I want to refer to the procedure name, procedure input parameter from 9 cubex SQL. Say okay. Now when you execute this view, your procedure is triggered, which will basically fill US for it and then shows only for US. See. So like this, you can have an input parameter filled from a stored procedure also. So you'll have this flexibility only in calculation view where you can fill your input parameter with the stored procedures. So time trial queries are all same. So we just have to see this option, the 3-4 options which we have to, we just kept this pending, keep flag all this. Tomorrow we'll focus on this. Yeah, we are okay for today. Tomorrow we'll focus on those things. Fine, I'll be sending the video to you. Just go through that. Yeah, there's nothing much. These are small options I've shown today. Yeah, fine, boss. Thank you, and then I'll send out the video, and then tomorrow we'll continue again. Thank you. Bye.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir,
Yeah.
This propagate semantics, I have one small question.
Yeah.
Uh, we have taken multiple projections and then we did the propagate semantics,
Yeah.
right? Instead of that, can we make it only one projection and then do
Yeah, you
that?
can do
Because why do we
only.
use many
I
projections?
wanted to show you if I add as propagate semantics, it adds to n number of levels. Just to show you the levels, I added that. Yeah.
Okay, so in single projection also we can do that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just wanted
Okay.
to
Yeah.
reflect that
Thank you,
it is
sir.
affecting in every node. I just built up a big chain. That's all.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Sir, while creating restricted column by dynamic, so we are not getting value help, sir. So is there any
You're
way
not
to get value help? Yeah.
because I create. That is how you create. Depends on how you create input parameter. If you create input parameter, it's
Okay.
not about value help. Okay. If you create input parameter,
Mm-hmm.
take what column. If you associate a column, then you'll always get the
Okay, okay.
value help. No.
Okay, fine. Got it.
Okay. So
Yeah, got it.
I have a doubt in database view. What is the doubt? Nested keywords can be done global. No.
Hello.
Nested key figures are specific
Hello.
to that view. Yeah. What is that question? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, I am having doubt in your 31st class before 31st 4 2016. That class you taught that database view in XB RL1 table is there. So how can, sir, I didn't get anything that table.
But you don't worry about the table. Just create your own table then practice. Don't worry about those tables. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Means like schema name. If when I was putting, it's like wrong message to be is wrong schema name. Then my schema name I put. Then again it is wrong. So what I need to put there, sir? My question.
You have to put the table name. See,
Sir,
even if you put a
hi, sir.
schema name, that schema may not have the table name. See, just logically you build a view. Don't go with this example of what I gave. You just take some table one, table two, try to join them. Okay. Try to work out with the SAP HANA demo. So you have those tables, no?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello,
Okay, sir.
Okay.
hello, sir.
How can we perform aggregation in aggregation? To perform aggregation, we use that aggregation node. Okay. What is it? Then what is your problem? We have aggregation node to do aggregation, right? Hello,
Hello,
Vijay.
sir. I have
Yeah, tell me. Vijay, you got no? We can do in the aggregation node, right? You're saying you're selecting this measures as aggregate columns and then attributes as normal columns, which will be grouped by. So measures will be aggregated based on those attributes. Yeah. Then what is the other question? Okay. Come on, make it fast.
I have an issue. So yesterday, actually, I sent a mail to you. So when I'm trying to activate analytical or attribute view, it's running for a longer duration, and at the end, it's error that time has been out for that activation time has been out.
What was that mail? Sumit?
Sachdeva Sumit 25.
Yeah.
Yes, Sumit Sachdeva. You can see.
I forgot to mention before. When facing an issue with activation process keeps running for longer duration than it has exceeded the activation time. The issue I'm getting for simple use with one table. Earlier I was not facing this system. Yesterday I started facing my Can you show your screen?
Yeah.
Who is what is your name? You logged in?
Sorry.
Your name. What is the name you logged in?
Uh, I've taken connection from some other user and
It's Sumit, right? Okay. I'm giving you options so that you can share. Okay?
okay.
You can share your screen so that share was say show. Yeah. Anyone else? And there's one more mail which is saying red dot. So you also keep the screen ready. I'll give you next chance, please. Instead of logging in at the time when I ask you, please log in and keep it ready so that I'll give you a chance to share this.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. I'm also before, sir, asking you that login problem, how to name and all.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I have created this simple
Okay.
attribute view.
So can you just say validate here once? Just click on the validate.
Validation also run for a longer duration and it's not getting finished.
It'll run for a really long time.
Yeah.
But what is the error you get at the end of it?
The time exceeded error I'm getting is getting failed.
Time exceeded.
Yeah, activation time exceeded error.
Time exceeded.